Alright, so welcome back again. My name is Jesse, and in this wonderful and exciting tutorial, we're trying to explore some various things we can do with PyPDF. So this is going to be a simple crash course on using PyPDF to work with PDFs in Python. So by the end of this stuff, we'll be trying to see how to extract text from PDF using PyPDF, how to merge and split PDF files, how to get the last page of a PDF, which is very useful in case you have signatures on the last page and you want to remove it, how to rotate PDF, how to extract images, and the rest, right? So we'll be doing some of them, and then later on we'll check the rest later on. So let's check some other useful libraries we can use when we are working with PDFs in Python. So the most commonest one is PyPDF2. We also have FPDF, which is very useful. We have PDF Miner, we have PDF Plumber, which is also very good. We have Image PDF Tabular, very useful when you are trying to work with tables. There's also Camelot, can also add it here, Camelot.py, right, which is also very useful. There is PDF Latest in case you're working with latest, and then there are several ones of them, right? Okay, so let's see. And then there's also the Report Lab, which I forgot to add. Report Lab, right? Perfect. So these are some of the wonderful packages you can use when you're trying to work with PDFs in Python. So let's start with it. So first of all, in case you don't have PyPDF, you can just pip install PyPDF2. And now let's load the package. Hope everybody can see it well. So I'm going to import. So import PyPDF. So it's supposed to be capital P, right? PDF2. So let's call that as PDF for now. And I want to check the version of it. So PyPDF version. And then the version is 3.0. That's the one we are using. The reason I'm showing the version is that there is some breaking changes, right? Or some new changes of how the functions have been named. So in the previous versions, we have PdfReader, right? But now it's PdfFileReader, but now this has been deprecated in favor of PdfReader. So in case you are working with any version that is not this version, you have to use this option here, right? That is the old one, but it has been deprecated, so you have to take off the file and it will work. Okay, so let's see the other methods of it. I want to check all the various methods of this particular package, all the things we can do. So we have DRL, PyPDF, and you can see that we have document info, we have all of these things, parser type, we have PDF file measure, PDF file reader, file writer. These are the old ones, right? And these are the new ones. So the simple overview is that with PyPDF, this is a simple workflow. You have to first of all open your file. You can use any of these things to open. Then when you open the PDF file, you can work with the PDF file. So the main things you have to understand that you can use the PDF reader to read after opening the file. You can also write. So in case you want to split, in case you want to extract stuff, you want to get stuff or write things to it, to use PdfWriter. We also have PDF measure to join multiple PDFs together, right? So that is the basic workflow. So let's start and explore them. So first of all, let's see how to read a PDF file. So right. So we're going to see how to first of all open it. So the first method is just go with my file in case I want to open it. So I'm just going to go with the file name that I have. Then I'm going to say open, right? And I'm going to pass in my file. So the name of the file is my nativity example, right? It's a PDF file. So I'm going to open this particular file. So after opening it, and then I'm going to read it. So this is method number 1, using the normal way, right? And then after opening it, I can now read it, right? So we have to first import these things from here. So from PyPDF2, import PdfReader, and then PdfWriter, right? You want to import these ones. The previous ones were PdfFileReader, right? But we are not going to use this one because if you use this, it's going to give you a duplication error, right? Any place you see the file, you just take it off and use this one. This is a modern one. Okay, perfect. So let's open it. So in case I want to open it, I can just go with my reader. So now pass in my PdfReader. Now passing the file. If I pass in the file, now I can read it, right? So this is going to be a format of a generator. And in case I want to get the title of this particular PDF, which is the same name as this, let's go with my reader.meta, right? Data. So the previous version was this. This is for previous. It should have been reader dot get info, right? So let me show you what I mean. If I go with this reader dot get, there is get document information. If I go with this, it's going to tell me that this is a duplication error, right? Because they have changed the naming. So now you're supposed to use metadata instead of get document info, right? So that's why we are using. So this is duplicated. So we have to go with this option, right? That is how to get the metadata. So let's store this one into a variable. So let's call it as my info. And now, in case I want to get everything, this was get document info, right? The replacement is this. In case I want to get all the information, I can just go with info. This is a dictionary which has a keys, right? So I can get the title of it. So in case I want to get the title, right? It's going to be my info dot title, right? And if I go with this, I get it here, which is the same thing here, right? In case I want to get the person that authored it, the author, I can just go with info dot author if there is, right? And then it's going to give you, there is no author, that's why it did not come, right? Perfect. So that is something very basic about working with PyPDF to get metadata info. We can also, in case I want to also extract or get the number of pages on it, right? I can also go with same thing here. So yes, the previous one will just get page number, that is the previous, but now it's going to be reader dot pages, right? This is the normal one, and I'll just go with length. So this is the current option. And now I have only 3 pages. If I go back and I check the file, which is this particular file, we have only 3 pages, 1, 2, 3, right? Very nice. So that is how to work with it. So you have seen some basic stuff about it. Now let's see how to extract the text from it. So in case I want to extract whatever text that was on it, I just go with the reader dot extract text, right? But as you can see, we have multiple pages, right? So in case you just write extract text, which page do you want to extract from? So that is why you have to know the page you want to extract from. So in our case, we want to get the text from the first page. So I can just go to the pages, right? Then this is a list. So I'll just put in the first value, right? In Python, we count from 0, then dot extract. So extract text. This is the old method. This is the old method. In case you are watching, right? It's going to tell me that this is duplicated. So the new method is this option. So this is previous. It's just option, except now a function like this, get test. Then I run it, and you can see that we have gotten the first one, right? So that is how to extract text from PyPDF, right? Or from a PDF using PyPDF. Now let's convert what you have done so far into a function, because it's always useful to get everything as a function. So let's go back again, and then let's create a function to get metadata. So the basic overview, as I said, is that first you have to open the file. You open the file with PyPDF, then you can read it with PdfReader. In case you want to write, just use this one, merge, right? So let's go back again and create a function to get the metadata. So it's going to be def, so get PDF metadata, right? Metadata. And I'm going to pass in the PDF file or PDF path that you want. So let's call that PDF path. Perfect. And now we can just open it. So the same thing as we did, we are going to open the file first. So with using context manager, with open, I'm going to pass in my file. Right. So with open, right, I'm going to pass in the file itself, so PDF, the path to that particular PDF in the file, right? And then let's open it as read byte. As you can give it any name, so let's give it as F. Then I'm going to create my reader class, which is going to take in the particular class, right? PdfReader. Now pass in my F. Perfect. And now I can get the info. So info is going to be my reader dot metadata, and now I can return everything back. So let's return it. I'm going to return this info here, right? So we have a simple function that we can use to get all the metadata. So if I go back again and I just go to get PDF metadata, I just pass in my activity example, and out of the box I get my metadata, right? Very nice. So this is a very useful function. Now let's do the other one. So we want to get another function to read all the tests. So function to extract text from PDF, which is a very useful function. So let's call this extract test. Yeah, from PDF. I'm making it more explicit. And this is going to be the PDF part as we had. Perfect. And now we can just go straight away and write that particular function to get all the tests, right? Perfect. So now we are going to just go with PDF part with open PDF read byte as F, right? And then since there are multiple pages, as you could see, we have to do this option. There are a lot of pages. You are going to loop through the entire stuff. So it's going to be for page, or we can just say for I in the particular range. We want to get the range of all the files first. So we open the file and then we just use the reader to read the file. So PdfReader. Then we have gotten the reader. We are going to get the length of everything. So length, this is going to be the reader dot pages. Right, remember that if it was in the old version, or not the old version but the other version, it's going to be this option here. So it's going to be this. Would have been reading the pages, right? It's going to be reader dot get pages, right? This is how it's going to be, right? But now we are not using get pages, we are now using pages itself, right? To get the length of the entire stuff, which is the same as we saw here, or get number of pages rather. You're not using this, right? So this is what you are using. This for the previous version. Okay, perfect. So now we have looked through the entire stuff, and now since I've looked through it, I can now get the page. So let's select page. So selected page, and I'm going to just get the page that have been selected. So reader dot page. I'm going to pass in the I for that current page that has been selected. Perfect. And now from there I can just go with this option of putting everything that we have gotten here, right? So we want to put everything. So let's go to the text that we have extracted. So selected page dot extract test, right? Extracting the test into this particular variable, and we have to put all of these tests because there are multiple pages. So now I'll come back to the top of my file and create a results list, right, to put all the results of the extracted test there. Then I'm going to append it there. So my results dot append my test, and now let's return everything joined together. So dot join the results. So the last one, this is to join them together, right? Because this is going to be in the format of a list. So that is a basic understanding. So you are opening the file, you are creating a reader class, and then a result list to put all the pages there. And we're going to loop through the entire PDF, right? For every page, select every page and extract every test and store it into this variable called test. Then we are going to append it to our list, and then we're going to convert our list into a string. So this is going to convert it to a string, right? Convert list to a single doc, right? As you can understand, that's the meaning of what this one does. So if I run it, let's test this one out. So extract the test from PDF, and I'm going to pass in my activity example. And if I run it, so we have gotten all the pages. The first page is here, or the rest, even to the last page, which is talking about PDF. So if you go back and check it out, we have 1, 2, 3, because this is the next one, right? But that is a simple function we have created to extract text from PDF. This works for test. Very nice. So you have seen two functions, which is very useful. One to get the metadata, and one to extract text from PDF. Cool. Now let's see the next option. So how do you split PDF? This is a very, very important concept. So that is the next argument. You have seen how to read it, right? Now let's see how to split a text, right? So to split a text, the most important function is after reading it, you have to add the writing to it in order to split it. So we will be seeing how to split into multiple PDF, which is very useful. The split of the last page. The last page is mostly what we have as signature in case you want to split it off. Get the PDF into a particular page, right? So get PDF pages up to a particular page. So let's see how to do that. Perfect. So let's start with it. So first of all, be checking on the basics of splitting, right? So how does a splitter work? As I said, it works with the writer, right? So let's do the same thing. So let's call it a split. To split PDF into multiple PDFs pages, right? So let's see. So it's going to be my function, and I'm going to go to split PDF, and I'm going to pass in my path, right? So PDF path, as we did already. Perfect. And now after that, you have to open it, right? Remember that you have to always open it first before you can read it. That is the best way. So with open, I'm going to pass in my PDF path. Then let's read byte as F. Perfect. And now we need to create our reader to open it. So this is going to be to read it, PdfReader. I'm going to pass in my F. Perfect. Let's loop through it. So we're going to get all the pages. So get all pages. So for I in the range of 0, right, till the length of all the pages, so reader dot pages to get every part of it. That's the most important thing. So it's going to get or look through the entire stuff. Pages, right? And then from there, we are also going to select a particular page, right, that you want to pick. So let's go to my selected page, which is going to be the reader dot page. I'm going to pass in that particular page number that we are looping through. Perfect. And now this is where the magic comes. So we are going to initiate the writer, right? So this is the writer to write it, right? So as the name goes, so writer is going to be my PDF writer. You create that instant of it. The position of this is very, very important, right? If I put the position, if I change this position, right, it's going to give a different result. So this is very, very important. I'm putting it within the loop so that it's able to split per the page, right? Perfect. Then let's create the file name. I'm going to give it as the name of the file. So os.path.split test. So this is going to pick the PDF that we have opened, get the name of the PDF, right? And now we are going to give it the output file name, which is going to be, we can modify this one to make it better, right? So you can use a string in case you want. Yep. And then this, right? So what I'm doing now is that I want to get the name, right? The file name that we have, this one here, right? Going to get the file name, and I also want to add some other numbers to it, right? I want to actually add the name, the number of the page, right? So let's call this one page number so that you understand it later on. And I'm going to pass in page number here. So I'm splitting the entire stuff using the file name, giving the particular page, right? And I'm going to end it with PDF. That's going to be the output file name. And now I can now save it. So this is where the saving comes. So now save it, save, and then compile to PDF. That's what it's going to do. So writer dot, we need to open the file first. So with open, go to the output file name. Let's open it as write byte as output. Then I can now write it. So writer dot output. right? Right, perfect, right? But you see that from here, we are opening the page, selecting a page, but there is no connection between this and then this, right? So we have to create a connection between the writer and the page, right? So now I can just go and create a connection. So writer dot add page, right? So we can have add the page. This is here, and I'm going to pass in the particular selected page. So this is where the connection comes. So this is where there's a connection. So this is where there's going to be an embedding of the page, right? So this is going to embed this page into this one. It's going to add it, or add or embed page, right? And now there's a connection between the writer and then the selected page. And now we can write it out to the particular out. Perfect. That is all. So that is the basic understanding. So let's give some simple function to tell you what the name of the file has been saved to. So we can say created a PDF with a name dot format. Let's give the name of it, which is output file name, so we know that we have a particular file created. So you can also use a string as I did here, or you can use the normal one, right? Perfect. So that is a simple function. Let's check this function out. So I want to split the PDF into, we have is this, into multiple, right? As you can see from here, there's only this one here, right? As you can see, only this one is there. But if I run this function, it's giving us an error. So the reason it's giving us an error is that we do not import OS, so we have to import it. So import OS, and now if I run it, so we have just created the first one, the second one, and the third one together with the pages, right? You can also make it better with this numbering here that we have here, that instead of it giving this, you can add +1 to it, so that +1, because most pages don't start from 0. So if I go with +1 and I run it again, let's delete these ones off. Let's delete this, this, and this. Let's go back again and then run it again. So I'll save this function. Now we have page 1, page 2, page 3. If I go back again, I have my page 1. As you can see, I have my page 2 separate, my page 3 also separate, right? Very nice. So this is better. So at least we know that this is page 1, page 2, page 3. You can also make it better and say, yeah, page, right? So that we know that this is the file, the page you are reading, right? Very nice. Okay. As I said, the position of this is important, right? The position of this is very important. So if I change the position of this one here, the writer, and put it here, we can do more, right? So let's see how to get, maybe we have seen how to get or split the PDF into multiple PDFs. The first thing is that you first open a file and read it. You loop through it and get every page. Then you add it to the writer. Then you save it to the file, right? That is a basic understanding. So let's move on and get the last page, right? But before we get the last page, right, or to split off the last page, let's get this one first, because of the loop, so that it becomes easy for us. So I want to create a function that splits the PDF into multiple PDFs per page, right? So this is split the PDF up to a page, right? So how do you do that? So the same thing we did here, we're going to pick the same thing. The only thing we're going to do is that we're going to change it here and change the writer also, right? So changing the position of this, and these ones is going to give us the option of splitting it up to a particular page, right? Because this is only anytime it splits per page. So it's going to be very simple. So let's call it as get PDF up to, right, a particular page, right? And now we're going to have the PDF part. Then just as we had here, we have the length of it starting from 0 to the end. This time we're going to give the particular start page. Let's make it an integer, and then this integer is going to start from 0, right? Because every page starts from 0. Then we have the end page, which is going to be the last page, which is going to be we can leave it like that, or we can actually work on it in that way. Apologies for my voice changing. Right, so let's, instead of calling it as end, let's call it as stop. Where do you want to stop? We don't want the last page, we want the stop page. Let's give it as end of, let's say, 0, right? Oh, so that is by default, we are just giving this particular one just to specify the page. And let's also give an output part. Let's give it a name. So output. Perfect. So you have created a simple function which takes in this particular one. Perfect. So let's open it first of all. So with open, we're going to open the particular PDF part that we have. Then we are going to open it as read byte, as F. Then we have to first of all create our reader to read it. So PdfReader. So it's going to be PdfReader. Yeah, I don't know why it's misbehaving, but yeah, as we saw here, so the same thing, PdfReader. That's the same thing we are doing here, right? PdfReader. And as I said, the position is very important. The position of this is important. So we are going to loop through them and then change the position to writer. Oh yeah, you can call it as write PDF, or call it as writer. So PdfWriter, we are not going to pass anything then we're going to loop through it. So for my page, in my range, I'm going to pass in the start page till the last page, right? Stop page. So length of the reader, not pages. So this was what we had previously, right? To get from the start to the last page. But this time we are not going to be using this option. This time we are using the stop page. So we have looped through them. The next thing is we're going to select the page. Then, as we did earlier on, reader.pages, then pass in the page number. So I prefer to give it the page number so that future generations will know what it's doing. Then I'm going to now write it. So write. In case you have any question or contribution, you can put inside the comment section below. So writer dot add the page that I want to add to it, which is going to be the selected page. And now I can, so this here has splitted it, right? Perfect. But because this is before, it has added all the pages there, right? Perfect. So remember that the add page previously would have been add page, right? That is the previous one. The same thing. This is previous. So in case you are watching from the future, it's the same, right? Perfect. So we have done that one. That is very good. It's watching version. Perfect. Now let's open the file. So wait. We need to create an output name for the entire stuff. Whereby we put in everything that we have done so far there. So as we did from here, I'll copy this and then use it here. Right, so we are getting the file name. That is the particular, not the file name, but this time we're going to get, yeah, we can also get a file name, also as we did above. So let me do the same thing here. To save us time, we're getting the file name, go to pass it here, the page, right? And then we want to get the start page and the last page. So we want to get the start page. So from, so the name of the page, then you can say, so this is the page from the first page, which is going to be the start page that you specified, to the last page. let's not add one to it. All right, perfect. So this is going to give us the file name from this page to this particular page, right? And now we can open that particular one here. So open output file name, right? And then we're opening it as read write byte as output. And now we can just write it out. So writer dot write out. So that is a very simple function. So what they're talking, all we did was we opened the file, we created this one here, right? We look through every one, we get the page, we add it to the writer, we create a name for it, and then we open a particular file that we have created, and then write everything there. That is the simplest way to split PDF up to a particular page. So let's check it out. So as you can see from this, we have 1, 2. So I want to get the first page, this, all the way to this one without the last one. So in that case, it's going to be here. So get PDF up to. I'll pass in the PDF that I'm using, which is this one here, right? And I've said I want to get it from the first page, which is 0, till the second page, right, which is number 2, right? So yes, it's going to get it from 0, 1, or we can make it like 2, 2. So let's save it. Perfect. And now if I go back again, so we have my output file, which is this particular file here. We have the first page and the second page, right? As you can see, the last page is not there anymore. Cool. We did not use this function. We did not use the output name, so we can just take this one out. And so that it's better. So now we can just write it like this. Now we have the page from the beginning to the end, right? As you can see from here. Very cool. So I've seen some very useful stuff you can do with a split. So you have seen how to split into multiple PDFs. You have also seen how to split PDF up to a particular page, right? So you can also split the same thing. You can split, say I want to split from not just one only, which is all of them one. Let me delete all of this because we do not use them again. So I'll cut this, put it into out. And then what I want to do is that I want to just get the second page, right? Second to third, not first, second, but second to third. So I can just go back again and change this one from 1 to 2, right? And now I can get pages from 1 to 2 without 1. This is a very useful function. So we have from 1 to 2, only just one page, right? Very cool. So that is something very useful. So this function can be used for a lot of things, right? It can be used in case you know the number of pages. You can use the same function to split all of them, right? Now with the same idea, you can also use the same function to get the last page, right? Because if you know the last page to be 3, you can also use this one to get it, right? But let's create a function itself to do the same thing, to get only the last page, so that you don't need to specify the stats and the stop page. You just create a function to get the last page only. So def to get last page, yeah, PDF page, right? And then this is going to be the PDF part that we had. We bring it up, the same thing we did. We're going to get the same thing here. Save us time. We're going to open the file, reader and writer, right? And then we, instead of re-looping through it, we are going to loop it through it in a different way. So 0, and then the length of the page that we have, so it's going to be the reader dot page, right? The pages. Then this time you want to get the last page. So as you already know, to get the last page of anything, you just have to go with the minus negative, right? Right. So that is the option. But we don't need to look through the entire stuff to get the last page. We can just use this option here to get the last page, because we don't need to look through the entire stuff. So we can just call it as my last page, which is going to be this entire stuff minus 1. So -1 is always going to give us count from the last page, right? So this thing give us the last page, right? And now we can just do the same thing we did. We can just select it. So selected page is going to be the reader dot pages. Then we pass in the last page, right? And then we can also add it, right? We can now writer dot add the page. We can modify this one again. Then we can just pass in the selected page that we want to get, which is the last page. And finally, we can now move on to writing it out as we did earlier. So I'll copy this one and then do the same thing. So get the last page. So the file name, not the file name, but the output, the PDF part. Let's get this one here. Yep. So that we are getting the file. Then I'm going to pass in the file name, right? And then we are going to get the last page. So let's always put last there. Yeah, so this is the last page. We already know that this is the last page. Then I'm going to write it out. So that is something very basic. We can also optimize it. We have the reader, we have the writer, we get the last page, right? We can also put this thing here, copy this and put it here, right? To get the length of the page -1, right? And then you can just take off this. Then we have gotten the selected page and you can just write it out. So let's see if it's working. So get last page. So as you can see from here, the last page is what is PDF, right? Number 3. So we must get that one out. It's going to be the nativity. If everything is working, it must work, right? So if I go back again and I check it out, so I have only the what is PDF page, right? So that is how to get the last page. I can also try it with this one and also going to get that one out. We can actually also write to the person. So print created last page. Yeah, so that at least we know that we have the created last page option and we have the last page created, which is this one, right? Very cool. So I've seen some very useful functions we can use with PyPDF. I know it's a lot of talking, but I'm putting all of them together in one course to make it easy for you to find everything you need. Perfect. So you have seen some of the usefulness of the PyPDF to split into multiple pages. Split off the last page in case you have a signature and you want to split it off. You can use the same thing, and then you can also get PDF up to a particular page. Perfect. So in the next session, I'm trying to see how to merge PDFs, right? How to merge multiple PDFs in the next session. So see you in the next session. Stay blessed. Bye. Alright, so welcome back again. So in this session, we're trying to see the last of our functions, that is PDF measure. So we'll be using this PDF measure to be able to merge all the pages that you have splitted with the writer, right? This is very useful in case you have multiple PDFs and you want to merge them together. So first of all, you have to get the list of all your PDFs that you want to work on. So get a list of PDFs, right? And then you have to use the PDF measure. So the previous version was PDF file measure, the same, right? In case you are using a different version. So let's see how to work with it. So this is a simple function we are using to get all the pages. So this is, yeah, you're getting the parent folder, you're looping through the entire stuff to get that particular PDF. You can also make it better and then use, let's say, globe or ends with to get the particular file. So for name in files, the name of the file, right? So you can just add a condition. So if, let's say, the name dot ends with something like that, ends with .pdf, right? Something like that, so that you get only the PDFs, right? So if it ends with it, then you just add that particular one, right? So for names in files, if the name dot ends with, right, this PDF, then you just put it here, right? you append it, right? Then return it. So this is one way you can do that. So that it only picks only PDF, not other files. So let's save it. So it's giving us an error here. So ends with, let's see the mistake I made here. Yeah, the mistake I made. So if name ends with is supposed to be this option here. And now let's run it. So if I come back here, in case I want to get the particular folder, so let's go to this particular folder here. I'm going to create a file which is into my out. So cd into out. Right, you can see that we have 1, 2, 3. I'm going to create another file that is a test file. So let's say example.txt. Right, this is not part, so that we know that we have some files that are not PDF. Right, so if I go back again and let's run a function to get all PDF, so fetch all PDF files. So let's give it a different name, PDF files, and now I can just pass in my ./out. So the reason we are going with a slash is that this is the current directory, and then the next directory, which is this one here. So if I run it, we only got the PDFs, not the test file, right? This was omitted. So that means that it's working. Perfect. So now we have gotten all the files. That's the first task. The next one is to merge them. So how do you merge them? So let's create a function to do that. So it's going to be def. So merge PDF. Then what we're going to do is that we're going to pass in the list of the files. So list of PDFs, right? And then we are going to give it the output name, right? I'm going to merge all of them together. So output name, or output file name, the name that I want to give it. Let's give it, so final merge file .pdf, right? Perfect. So the first task, use a measure. So this is going to be my PDF measure. Create a PDF measure. We have to import it, otherwise it's not going to work. So just go it from PyPDF2 import PDF measure. So PDF measure, not measure. Okay, and then from there I can now open. So with open, go to open all the output file. So output file name as write byte as F. Then for file in my list of PDFs, I will now use a measure to append everything. So measure.append the file. Then we can now write it back. So measure.write the file. Right. So what we are doing is that we are looping through the entire stuff, merging everything together. Then since we have still opened it up, we are going to write it to this file, right? So let's save it, and now let's run it. So to run it, you have to get this one first, and then this one. So let's say my PDF list is going to be this here. So if I go back and I check it out, we have the PDF list. Then I can now merge PDF, passing my PDF list. So it's giving us an error, name error. So PDF measure is not defined. So this is because we did not import it, right? So it's very important to always read error. So name error, name PDF measure is not defined, but we define it here. But the reason we are having this error is that we did not import it. So if I go back again, run it, and now we have our stuff, right? Perfect. So if I go back and I check it out, here we have the final merge file, and then they have been merged per the order 1, 2, 3, right? If the order is not correct, it's not going to measure it, well, merge it. It's going to merge it per the order of the file. I mean, per the order of this file. So if this is 057, or let's say 0, or let's say 2, and then this is 5, and this is going to merge it like that, right? So per the order. So that is a very nice function that you have created to help us merge PDF. So you have seen some very useful things you can do with PyPDF. You have seen how to extract text from PDF. You have seen how to split into multiple stuff to get the last page. You have seen how to merge, right? So let's see the last one, how to rotate, and in the next session we'll try and see some other stuff you can also do with it. Alright, so welcome back again. So in this session, we'll be trying to see how to rotate a PDF page, right? So it's very simple to rotate a PDF page. All you have to do is that we remember this function that we had, which was used to get the last PDF, right? So we can use this same idea to help us get that particular page that we want, right? And then when we get a page, we want to rotate it, right? With a very simple function. So what I will do to save us time is I'll copy this entire stuff we have. So let's create a simple function. So def rotate PDF, and this is going to take the PDF part and then the angle, right? So we want to get the page that we want to rotate. So page number, let's make it int, and then the rotation, right? Or the angle. Yeah, let's go rotation. Right, so the rotation is also going to be, yeah, let's make it float. We can make it float, but let's leave it like that. So we can specify it to be float because it can rotate to 95 degrees or 95.5 degrees or something. But let's make it, we can make it integer or we can make it float, but let's make it this way. Instead of float, let's make it int, right? Perfect. And then from there, we can now open the file. So with open, going to pass in the PDF, so PDF part that we have, and then I'm going to open it as read byte, as F. First, you have to create a reader, as always, PdfReader, right? And then we need to pass in here. Then we also need to create a writer. It's going to be my PdfWriter. And now we need to get the page, right? So we want to get the page that we want to do work with it. So in this case, it's going to be my writer. Let's add the page. Then let's get the reader to get all the pages that the person has selected. So the page number. Perfect. So this is going to add that particular page that we have there. Then this is where the rotation comes. So this is where we rotate. So writer dot pages, the page number, right? We have the page number. This is supposed to be writer dot. So what we are doing, we are adding that particular page to our writer. So it's going to do a connection. And then when we do that, we want to rotate it. So we want to get that particular page that we have itself, which is this option here. And then we can now rotate. So dot rotate. And here we're going to pass in our rotation. Right. Perfect. So let's give it a default value of 90 degrees. Right. So that we have it. Yeah. And now we can write it. So we have opened the entire stuff. We have done all the things that we need. So the next option is that now we can now write it, right? So let's go back and save it here. So to save it, I'll do the same thing that we have been doing always. So I'll just copy this because it's the same thing we have been using all along. The same thing, just to get the page. We open the file, get the file name, we open it. We're going to call it as rotated page, right there, the file name, and let's give the angle or the level of rotation. So we have rotated it as the rotation number, but we know that we picked the file, we rotated it at this particular page, and this is it, right? Perfect. Then here we're going to write it out again. So that is a basic understanding. So rotated a page. Perfect. So you have a simple function. Now I can just go with rotate page PDF. Then I can just pass in my file. So I want to pick one of them, not the entire stuff. I want to pick this, give us 2. Yeah, I want to rotate the last one, right? So I'll just go back again. Activity, last page. By default, it is 90 degrees. So missing one position of the page number. So let's give the page number. So let's give it as 0. And it's telling us, okay, 0 is not available. Writer has no attribute, add pages. So the reason we have it here is we forgot something. So you have to fix it. So it's saying you always have to read the error. So PdfWriter object has no attribute, add pages. It's add page, not add pages. Unlike the one we had, this is always add page, not add pages. That is why it failed. So go back and then run it again, and so we have gotten our page rotated. If I go back and I check it out, so this is the default one, as you can see, and this is the new one. So that's rotated it to 90 degrees, right? We can also change it back in case you want to give it a different, be specific. So I want to rotate it to, let's say 45. Let's see whether it will work. So I think the reason it's not working is that rotation angle must be a multiple of 90. So the default is that it must be a multiple of 90. That is why it did not work. So 90, 180, and now it's going to work. So we have it here. This is 90, 180, right? Very cool. So we have seen how to do some very cool stuff with PyPDF2. So thank you for watching this long tutorial. I hope you have learned something. I hope you have gotten some very useful functions you can use for your stuff. How to rotate a PDF, how to merge PDFs, how to find PDFs, how to get the last page of a PDF, how to split PDFs, how to read and extract. Very interesting. Thank you for watching. See you another time. Stay blessed. And check the links below for some interesting materials to help you master machine learning and then Python. See you. Bye.